Hey everyone, off the Nike Sports Network. Browns thoughts here. The Browns fall to 3-10 on the season, losing 27-14 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns were up 7-3 in this game, and then everything fell apart. Jameis Winston threw 2 interceptions, got sacked 3 times, only threw for 212 yards. The Browns did get over 100 yards rushing in this game, but Nick Chubb only had 11 carries for 48 yards. Jameis Winston was tied for their second leading rusher. I mean, Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku had, decent performances, but, this defense gave up some big plays. Russell Wilson throws for 2 touchdowns. I mean, it wasn't like, like just this gangbusters, like Russell Wilson crazy performance, but the Browns are so significantly just, a lot of it's coaching. But there was a couple things that jumped out to me in this game. If anybody came out of this game, I don't even think it was really a coach that really came out of this game looking supremely bad. Andrew Berry came out of this thing looking the absolute worst. Dustin Hopkins, after an amazing season last year, and a lot of kickers are having bad years. Justin Tucker may be the GOAT. And he's having a terrible season for the Baltimore Ravens. But Dustin Hopkins misses 2 more field goals. It's been an awful season for him. He's only kicking 64% this year. I mean, it's bad. He's 16 of 25. He's missed 1 from inside 30. He's missed 3 from 40 to 49, 6 to 7 from 30 to 39, and then he's missed 4 from beyond 50. He was about as close to automatic last year. But this has been a mess of a season. They gave him an extension off of a really just a magical season, and this has not gone very well at all. So Dustin Hopkins, that's an Andrew Berry call. Kadarius Toney, 4 punt returns in this game. He had a penalty in this game. And then he had a fumble when the chances were slim that they were going to come back. They had no timeouts and about 3 minutes to go, down 27-14, and he fumbles a punt. Why is Kadarius Toney on this team? He got dumped by the Giants because he was a failure as a top draft pick. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, who are like the most redeeming organization in all of professional football, they didn't even want him because he couldn't line up correctly. They couldn't even make it work. Why are you taking a chance on this guy? Why? He didn't offer anything to you. And he cost you this, and he was a big reason why he cost you this game. Like, what are we doing? Like, the run game has been an issue. Special teams, as I said, with, the issue with Dustin Hopkins and punt returning, and, that has not been good. The defense has, relatively held up well. Miles Garrett, again, just outstanding. Another sack, another TFL. 3 QB hits. Like, he was great in this game. But, listen, I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do with a lot of the staff. But if I'm managing this team right now, I think Andrew Berry's job is very much on the line in the last, 4 weeks of the season here. Because a lot of the decisions that he has made has directly impacted this team. His draft picks have not hit. Yes, he's made some decent trades, with Amari Cooper contributing very well. Jerry Jeudy's having a really nice season since Jameis Winston took over. But yeah, offensive line. Jed Wills shut down for the season. Jack Conklin had some bad penalties in this game. He can't stay healthy. So the offensive line's kind of a mess. They completely change a lot of things fundamentally offensively. And I don't know if that was Kevin Stefanski's idea or if that was ownership or that was Andrew Berry. But listen, I would almost completely overhaul this coaching staff. I think Bubba Ventrone, the special teams coach, he should be gone. I think the running back coach, Deuce Staley, he should be gone. They should have never fired Snump Mitchell. That was a bad move. They haven't been able to run the ball for 2 years since Nick Chubb blew out his knee last year. Like, that's been a problem. They shouldn't have fired Alex Van Pelt, offensive coordinator. Ken Dorsey, you can see it. They can't run the ball. They just throw it all over the yard, and then they kind of just live with what Jameis Winston. You've seen, yeah, they've been able to move the ball, but hey, it's just a bunch of empty calories. He threw for like almost 400 yards in New Orleans. They couldn't score. Like, it was a fun night in Denver, but they didn't win, and they threw 2 pick sixes. Like, the offense is kind of broken. I heard from people in training camp that it was not going to look good. It didn't look good with Deshaun Watson. It's looked marginally better with Jameis Winston. But I don't know if he's the answer at quarterback. He's been a lot of fun, but I don't know if that's your veteran option going into next season. So that's a problem. The defense has kind of regressed. Some of that is just like, guys are underperforming. Some of it's just Jim Schwartz and his aggressiveness getting exposed. But yeah, I mean, literally, like, I would almost overhaul the entire offensive staff. And the only guy I think really that deserves to stay is Jim Schwartz in terms of the coaching staff. And I would keep Kevin Stefanski, I think, because he has been able to get through 2 Coach of the Year campaigns, and they've made it pretty clear that they want to keep him. Unless you really want to convince yourself that it would be better with Mike Vrabel. Unless you can convince yourself otherwise, I don't see a reason to move off Kevin Stefanski at this point, because somebody will swoop him up immediately. The Bears will go after him immediately. The Jets, I would not be shocked if they pursued him. The Giants, if that position opens up, they would pursue him. There's multiple open head coaching vacancies that would become available that Kevin Stefanski would be hired tomorrow if he was fired by the Cleveland Browns. So you better be very careful with how you pursue that. But if anybody is at the top of the list on the chopping block to suffer for this humiliating season, it is Andrew Berry. His name is on that contract for Deshaun Watson. His name has been on a lot of these bad draft picks that have not hit. His name is on a lot of these big offensive linemen that have not hit. They haven't been able to protect. And like I said, we can't fire the owner, guys. Somebody's got to take the fall for this season. And I've been trying to make excuses for Andrew Berry to stay. It's run its course. They're 3-10. They're 3-10. And it's like, if you look the rest of their season, like, listen, here's the rest of their season. So the rest of their season goes like this. Chiefs next week. Good luck with that at home. Patrick Mahomes. I mean, yes, the Chiefs have been skating by, and this will probably be a tight game. But still, the Chiefs are the champs. They're not. They go to Cincinnati. They've already lost to Cincinnati. Maybe they beat them because Cincinnati's been snake bitten this season. You play the Dolphins on Sunday night. That could be a fun little game right before the new year. Miami maybe playing their way into a playoff spot. We'll see how that goes. And then you're at Baltimore at the end of the season. Yeah, you stole one from Baltimore early in the season, but Baltimore's going to be a playoff team too. They're better than you. So what, 4 or 5 wins is the ceiling for this team? That's not acceptable. Somebody's got to take the fall, and I think it's Andrew Berry. I don't think I understand why people would be quick to jump and basically say, yeah, let's fire everybody. What good does that do you? Because then you don't have a quarterback, and then you're just going to literally start over. I think you have the right coach. I'm really concerned about the direction of this organization if Andrew Berry is going to continue being the general manager. Because there have been too many bad decisions, whether his name is on it, whether his name is truly on it or not, and we'll probably never know the circumstances of that Deshaun Watson trade and how much he was involved in it and how much Jimmy Haslam was involved in it. But Andrew Berry's the general manager. He's in charge of that type of stuff. His name is largely really on the face and really on that contract. And yes, obviously the ownership is really the one footing the bill. But outside of manipulating the cap, what has Andrew Berry done? What has he done? Get at me in the comments. Tell me something Andrew Berry's done. Get at me on Twitter at OffTheMic28 at OTMikeSports. We'll have more throughout the week in the lead up to this game against the Chiefs, which will be really interesting. Chiefs playing on Sunday night against the Chargers, so it's like I said, it's after getting this is kind of how this season's gone. It's like, hey, they've had uplifting, so they demoralizing loss to start the season, then they beat Jacksonville, uplifting win, lose 5 in a row, then an uplifting win against a division rival in Baltimore gives you false hope, 2 straight losses, including a bye in the middle. Nice little win on Thursday night in the snow against the Steelers, and now back-to-back losses on the road. That's the theme of this season. Sporadic victories. They're not a good football team. And they're going to have to really evaluate what they want to do. If they want to go pursue a quarterback, there's been a lot of buzz potentially that some of these young quarterbacks can be, if with a bridge quarterback, could potentially be molded into something in a Kevin Stefanski offense, like a Carson Beck. People will snicker at that. I heard a lot of people hyped up on Drew Aller at Penn State. Some of those guys aren't ready, but with time and with a bridge quarterback, there's a possibility that maybe there's something there. So maybe the Browns' future quarterback is in this draft coming up in 2025. So anyway, talk to you guys real soon. Hit the subscribe button. Off the mic 28, OT Mike Sports. See you guys soon. Bye.